So this is the Tank Demon Hunter Mage Tower Challenge. The live audio got fucked, so we're going to do some post-commentary here. Do our best I can to explain what's going on. So what you want to do is, once it starts, you just want to pop in there. You want to pop every cooldown you got and go in on this guy. When he casts, you'll see he casts the Mind Rend. You want to use your Empower Wards, or yeah, I think it's called Empower Wards, your magic reduction ability, to negate the damage that does. Also, by negating that damage, it actually gives you a buff to your agility, depending on how much damage you take. So, using that to negate that damage is very important. You can see I took 7 stacks in that first burn phase because I got a little crazy, and what that ended up doing was reduce my maximum health by so much. I took too much damage and I had to pop an orb there. Normally, when these ads are coming in, if you're going to use an orb, you want to wait for them to get into the middle and then use the orb so you can AoE them while they're kind of dancing around being derps. But I messed up there and took too many stacks at the start. I wouldn't suggest taking 7 stacks. I'd stop maybe at 5. It's pretty safe. You'll see him cast the Mind Rend, and it does do damage, and you'll want to use your Empower Ward on cooldown for that. But you don't want to interrupt that because you want to save your interrupt for the Drain Life here. Because if you're able to get a Drain Life cast off, then it's just going to elongate your phase 1, and you're going to have less cooldowns for phase 2, and that's what it really comes down to. It's just getting out of phase 2 or phase 1 as fast as possible and as cleanly as possible, so you have everything for phase 2 when Cruel drops. Once there's a lull in the ads period, there's no infernals, there's no little ads up or anything, you can go back in for some more burn on the boss. I wouldn't suggest taking too many stacks here. I think I'm at 6 now, which is also still iffy. And here is Drain Life. Make sure to interrupt that. And here comes the ads. When they spawn, they come out of portals. There's like 4 corners of the room. Each come out of one portal, and they all run towards Velen. Is usually what they do. So what you want to do is wait for them to get to Velen and then jump on, because then they're all stacked up, and then you can jump on them and pull the aggro off Velen. I think I blew my interrupt on one of the ads there, so I had to use a Sigil of Silence to cancel a Drain Life there, and that's really going to hurt me coming up. We'll see that. The Infernals do a knockback as well as the eyes. If you're not facing towards the eye, they do a knockback, but that's not a big deal for a Demon Hunter. You just spam your spacebar, and your double jump basically cancels that mechanic entirely, so you gotta just do it again there. So these ads here, after they're up for a little while, they do this cast, and they start pulsing AoE magic damage. That's usually what you want to use your AoE silence for, because they do a crap ton of damage, as you can see there. So I had to blow it, but I blew it earlier on the guy, because I messed up. I blew it earlier on the guy, because I messed up, and so I didn't have it there. And then I used my interrupt on one of the little ads to reduce the damage, and then I didn't have interrupt or AoE silence for the Drain Life, so we got a full Drain Life cast there, which isn't good. You can see it was all in Velen, so Velen is pretty low health over on the left hand side on my party frames. But that's not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal. You don't want that to happen, but you can recover from it, as you can see here. There's quite a few Infernals up. Ads are coming in. Things are going to get crazy. Double jump to cancel that. I see he's draining life, and there's a bunch of ads. Perfect time to use an orb and kind of get control of the situation. And here comes the AoE pulsing magic damage. This is actually going to proc my passive continue button. I forget what it's actually called, last resort or something. But I thought I was dead there, and I should have been dead, but I had that, so I'm like, we'll keep going. It turns out I ended up killing it. So you can make a ton of mistakes and you still be all right. So Cruel comes down. I'm low health, so I just pop an orb right there to kind of stun him, do a little bit of damage, and get healed up. Now you'll see Cruel cast Annihilate and then Twisting Reflection. Twisting Reflection is easy. That's what you use your interrupt on. You just interrupt that. Annihilate is his tank mechanic, and you're going to need to have Demon Spikes, Trinkets, Metamorphosis, some kind of cooldown for pretty much every single one of those. Knockbacks continue. The ads keep spawning in this phase. I don't think eyes spawn. Here's another Annihilate. Just use Demon Spikes. And then he jumps on you and leaves that pool. You don't want to stand in that, obviously. But Infernals keep spawning, and little ads keep spawning. And these little purple lines spawn, and they knock you all around. So that's just something you have to deal with. It's not that big a deal. Make sure you use these orbs properly. That's how you're going to knock this fight out is proper use of these orbs that Velen leaves lying around. You just walk over them, they heal you to full, they disorient everything. It's very nice. And in this phase, it's just staying alive while burning. Just stay alive while burning. Use orbs when you want. I actually didn't have a cooldown for the Annihilate there, so it probably would have killed me. So what I did was I jumped on an orb, and that interrupted the Annihilate cast from Cruel, so I didn't have to deal with that one. And I was just using either double jump or fell rush or fell leap to get out of those green pools. And you just power through, and you got it. It's pretty excited at this point. I had quite a few wipes on this guy, and felt good to get him down. This was actually quite a few months ago, because as I said, the audio was messed up, and I was just too lazy to do post audio production, so here we is, months later doing it. So now, with the gear that people have now, it shouldn't be no problem. I was taking Fell Devastation, because that was the hotness at the time. I think Spirit Bomb is probably what you need to rock nowadays, because the extra 20% healing off all the damage you do is just very good. So there's your tank Demon Hunter. What are they, Vengeance? Or they Havoc? They're Vengeance. Vengeance, Demon Hunter, Mage Tower Challenge. Get some pretty sweet wing looking Warglaive things that are really cool. And thank you.